Let us welcome the fourth speaker. The fourth speaker is Ms. Haruka Kakoi from Tsuda University, ESS. He will deliver his speech under the title of One for All for One. One for all for one. So, Ms. Kakoi, would you come up to the stage?
Thank you, the master of the ceremony, distinguished judges, audio organizers, and audience. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you. July 17th, 2023. My life was dramatically changed, and I fell into deep despair by one question. Do you have a boyfriend? No. Any relationships? What? What did he ask me? My boss asked me about my romantic experiences over and over. At my new workplace, I was asked the same questions. Sexual harassment. I thought it was normal business, but it happened twice in a year. My traumatic experiences made me realize how harassment is close to us and how I was unconscious of it. Today, I'm going to talk about sexual harassment as one victim, a future worker, and a potential attacker. Harassment should begin immediately, but I want you to think about how to prevent being an attacker. My goal is for everyone to work safely without fearing harassment. This speech is for every current and future worker. You might say, well, I won't attack someone. I know it's not allowed. Or is that a story of the Showa era? In Japan, sexual harassment began issue in 1989. 35 years has passed. Is that an old tale? Here's the data. The Ministry of Health and Labour and Welfare researched 8,000 workers and found that 1 out of 10 experienced sexual harassment. 10% seems to be a small number. But the true problem is the hidden victims who cannot speak up behind the numbers. In this research, the most appropriate answer to what did you do after being a victim was did nothing, because they are afraid to be a level of the victim harassment. It might be troublesome or even don't know what to do. The actual number is larger than 10%, and they're still suffering alone. Actually, I was almost becoming the hidden victim. I need help, please, anyone listen to me. But I couldn't speak up because it needed courage. It was shameful to say I was harassed, even to my parents. I was in a no way out situation. Thanks to my kind of friends who listened to me, I could recover and stand here today. However, what if no one listened to me, or the other time saying, it's also your fault, or what if I tried to forget by ending my life? The pain the victim experiences is not only harassment itself, the primary damage, but the secondary damage of being ignored by others. Imagine this happened to you, your coworker, your friend, or your loved ones, and they were suffering alone. Isn't that scary? Sexual harassment. Now, you can see it's not only trouble, but can be a knife that kills the victim's heart. So, why is there still harassment that cannot prevent? The answer is simple. We are too ignorant of it. Most of you know that harassment cannot be allowed, but at the same time, how many of you know its solution or definition, and what kind of words can be harassment? According to the management base, half of 10,000 workers answered that they didn't realize their aggression before being pointed out. This means most of harassment was done unconsciously. The same is true with secondary damage. One worker has suffered from sexual acts by a coworker, but what made the person sad was being said, "He acts like that when he's drunk, so don't worry about it." Compared to the primary damage, it might have been encouragement. You can be an attacker of both damages without noticing. Our ignorance can create hidden victims, and you might attack someone before you notice. Isn't it horrible? Everyone, now it's time to rethink ourselves and prepare to be an attacker of both damages. I can hear you saying, yes, I know it's important, but can we do anything? The government has some rules for companies, but it's not for the workers, which means one worker must act for all the workers. So, what can we do? The keywords are one for all and all for one. First, one for all, which an individual person can do, is to get knowledge about harassment. I had no idea what to do when I became a victim, which took a long time to solve the issue. Proper knowledge is helpful not only when you become a victim, but prevent you from being attacker of both damages. For example, after I learned about definition harassment to write a speech, I became careful of what I say at my workplace, so I recommend you to learn the definition first. Second, all for one, which everyone can do for everyone. Try to communicate with your coworkers. A safe workplace is open-minded, which allows anyone to ask when they need help. If only there was someone to speak up, victims would be saved, and you can be the one. Mutual trust through daily conversation can help in case of troubles. The key is put them as an equal position as you, or respect them as one person. After I left my workplace, I was scared to work again. However, at my new workplace, my boss listened carefully about my traumatic experience. He detected that I had been stressed by harassing words by a coworker. He told me, "It's not your fault." At that moment, I felt I was not alone, and this was a safer workplace. Sexual harassment. Now, it's not any of your business or an old tale, but it's happening right now. Still, I remember that traumatic day. We cannot eliminate harassment, but we can prevent it. One person, one more rule can optimize the workplace. One worker take the hand, unite together to create a safer, better workplace for all. Please remember, one for all and all for one. Thank you.
Now, we have a question and answer session. Mr. Kubota, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Haruka-san. So now I'm working as a manager at my company, and well, regarding the team building, when we try to build a team, we need to somehow talk about ourselves, and sometimes we need to step into all of those private parts, right? But how could we draw a borderline about what is going to be like a sexual harassment and what is not going to be like that?
Okay, so first, the definition of harassment, the criteria is, depends on the receivers. So whether the receiver feel is harassment or not is important. So maybe you should communicate to avoid microaggressions, asking like saying wife and husband into partner, or yes, you have a boyfriend, is you have a partner. So avoiding microaggression can be the first step to avoid harassment.
Okay, so you now talked about the definition, and I think that the sexual harassment, not only the sexual harassment, but all the other harassments like power harassments, is happening because the definition differs by person. So like in your story, your boss was thinking like, oh, this is not like a big deal. This is just part of communication, but you, as a receiver, felt really, you didn't feel good, right? So the definition might be the key in this sexual harassment. But do you think that you can, like the concept of this contest, unite all the people's definition regarding the sexual harassment? Is it possible?
So I think it's fairly almost impossible, but we can try to walk into each other. And I think we should not say, so it is impossible to unite, so we cannot understand each other. I think it's not right. So we have to understand what older generation thinks, and older generation understand what we, younger generation, feel is harassment. So understanding each other can be the first step to understanding each other.
So it might be impossible, but at least there would be something which we could do.
Yeah.
Okay. My next question is, so I think you faced the sexual harassment in your part-time job.
Yeah.
But if you were like working as a full-time employee, it might be different. It might be different because, you know, if you're working as a part-time job, then maybe you can have an option to, okay, I will quit my job and I will go to the next one. Like, but if you're like working full-time, it might be difficult to go to the next step. So you have to choose to fight against the your boss or something like that, the person who does the sexual harassment, or to escape from your workplace. So which would you suggest to the full-time employees?
So I would suggest for employees that you have the choice to escape, not only fighting, because fighting is very dangerous, because at my first workplace, I have to fight my boss because company system is not enough, and so my private information was all open to the bosses, so I have to fight but it needed courage, and yes, I was really depressed because of that. But at my second workplace, I chose to escape. And actually, I didn't quit, but I changed the store I work. So yes, after that, I work in so really comfortable. So yes, I want to say that escape is not the defeat, and you have the right to work safely. So that is a word I want to say to them.
Okay, so having an option is important. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kubota, and thank you, Ms. Kikoi. Now is the judging time.